Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from YourBlackWorld.com. Today, Kanye West, or this week anyway, he released a new song that really kind of got the attention of a lot of people. It's called New Slaves. And, it was actually, I think, a song that kind of references how slavery has transformed itself since the Emancipation Proclamation and how slavery still does exist. And anybody that follows Your Black World, you know that we've been pushing very hard on the mass incarceration epidemic, which I say was responsible for the destruction of the black family over the last 40 years. I started texting and a few of my friends in the hip-hop industry, namely guys like Ron Fest and Killer Mike and Vigilante, and also Madam President. And basically everybody had some mixed reviews on the song. Ron Fest told me that he was with Kanye actually at the time that we exchanged our messages. And it was interesting just to kind of get this sense that hopefully artists are starting to transform that power of hip-hop in a direction that can be beneficial to various social causes. So I decided I wanted to do an interview with the most conscientious artist that I know, Vigilante out of Kansas City. How you doing today, brother?
How you doing, bro? I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Oh, okay. Now tell me, man, what do you think about this song? I mean, it was pretty heavy. I mean, it was graphic, just so people know it's not PG-13. It's rated R, but he was really spitting some heavy language, and I felt it. I thought it was I think that to fight a huge obstacle, you got to be aggressive. So what did you think about it?
I say welcome. I say welcome back, hip hop. Welcome back to consciousness. I felt what he was saying. I say welcome back. I say welcome back. This is what it should have been. And now, I mean, what bigger name to actually usher it in to consciousness, whether people like Kanye or not, or think whatever. He's always had a conscious element in his music. If you listen to the College Dropout album and stuff, so he's back to that. And for whatever reason, people may not be feeling certain things, but I think it was powerful. I heard it. It was powerful, and I'm an artist, so I can't say that I don't like the song, and I think you can treat it like fish. You can eat the meat and spit out the bones, but I think he said what he had to say because with corporations and stuff like that, he spoke on something that is very real. We just kind of went through that, with the Lil Wayne situation and things. So I definitely felt what he was saying on the song.
Well, the first thing I think people to know is anybody who's a fan of hip-hop, high school music, it's a good song. I mean, the beat was dope. I think it's going to be a hit, to be honest with you. Also, it's funny you say welcome back, welcome back hip-hop, and I say also welcome back Kanye because, for a few years it seemed that Kanye just went in this really interesting direction with his music. With the Jay-Z stuff, that was very materialistic, it seemed. And I've always sort of felt that, I've always looked at Kanye and said, man, I've always felt you could do better than this. I think your mama taught you better than this. And at the same time, it's like we have to accept maybe that Kanye is like everybody. He's a complex creature. Remember with Tupac, right? He had the conscientious side, and then he had the not so conscientious side, really the borderline ignorant side of who he was. And I guess all of us, are conflicted in that way. Now tell me this: what do you think about the people who? Now, mind you, not every artist I talked to was excited about Kanye making the song. They just thought Kanye was just trying to say things to get attention. He's just trying to make money. What do you say to people who like the message but aren't appreciative of the artist?
I tell them, so it's out there. Long to get out there, like anything, any message you put out there, to me, it don't matter about the messenger. If it's out there, he spit something that was real. And for the ones that are saying that they, not feeling him, that's fine. If that's their opinion to do that. But for me, I'm looking at a bigger picture. We got to start looking at the bigger picture. He said new slaves. You've been talking about, you and Russell, about mass incarceration. And with the Emmett Till thing about responsibility about black culture. Those things right there I see in this song because, look, he's popular. He's very popular, so he got the ear of millions. So whether he's faking it or perpetrating it, just like when Lil Wayne had a chance to say, I'm sorry, it didn't matter if he was sincere. It would be like a lot of people would have saw that he apologized. He would have apologized for that if he was sincere. It wouldn't have mattered. So I look at it, when you listen to the song, and is getting this type of fuss already about that, he got a chance right now to swing artists back the other way. People followed him because he's a trendsetter. Think about it. Kanye West is a trendsetter. So all that money talking and all that stuff, people started doing it. So if we can talk this thing like he did in the song All Fall Down, if he can talk about that, then it may swing him that way, and that's a good start. It takes a spark to start an inferno. So with me, I say, so what? Let it get out there, and if everybody who don't like it, put something else out there to match it. But to me, it's a good start.
Well, I agree with you. I say that, that Kanye is the kind of artist that I believe has the right to buy himself back into the game, so to speak, meaning that, we know that he carries so much power, so much leverage. You have to be appreciative of the fact that he is willing to come back and share a message like this. It is so powerful. And, and I mean, people have to understand, the consequences of a major artist saying things like fuck the corporations. I think that's what he get a lyric, something like that. And I'm like, wow, he's telling corporate America to go to hell. And that's pretty huge for a guy that can, that can sign multi-million-dollar contracts, in his sleep. I think also what's interesting is that all this is kind of happening right at the same time as you mentioned the Lil Wayne situation, which we were so proud to get a part of that. I really felt like I had to. I started trying to make contacts within the hip hop industry to let artists know, look, even though I did, play a role in dealing with Mountain Dew and Lil Wayne and all that, I'm not an enemy of hip hop. I'm not Reverend Calvin Butts or C. Dolores Tucker. I love hip hop music. I know Killer Mike was relieved when I told him. I said, look, I didn't grow up on, hip hop to the hibbity. I grew up on Ice Cube. You know what I mean? I grew up on Gangsta.
Spice One. Remember Spice One? Yeah,
Spice One. I think I told him my 5 favorite artists were Ice Cube, Spice One, Killer Mike, Immortal Technique, and I think Tupac was in there too. And he was kind of thrown aback because he thought I was just some old professor who just really hated all hip-hop music. And my feeling is that, look, gangster rap is not, we know that gangster rap is not always the most productive kind of music. We know it's not always positive. Let's just be real. I mean, NWA may fuck the police, but they also made a lot of stuff. You brought this to my attention, too. You brought some stuff.
One less bitch to worry about.
Yeah, they made a lot of stuff that they can't be proud of. But here's the thing. Hip-hop, especially, gangster rap in particular, it has a certain attractiveness to it built on the fact that it has so much energy, so much power, so much fire. And unfortunately, we've used that fire to destroy things over the last decade. But instead, it can be also used to either build or to destroy those who seek to oppress us. My argument is that if artists were to turn the power of hip-hop in a direction that says we will obliterate the prison industrial complex, we will obliterate this gang violence problem that we have in our cities, we will obliterate the oppression of black males all across America, I think it could be one of the most powerful revolutions ever. And so this song was ironic to hear. It's real funny how last week happened. I talked to Ron Fest. Ron Fest said, he said you should talk to Killer Mike. A couple of days later, literally, without me even talking to Killer Mike, he followed me on Twitter, so I reached out to him, and I had a conversation with him, and I was saying, what we need to do is we need to bring activists, scholars, and hip-hop artists together under one umbrella, especially among black men, and confront the issues that oppress us. And so, literally, after we have that conversation, Kanye comes out with this song, and I'm texting Ron Fest. Ron Fest says, I'm in New York with Kanye, and we got more stuff coming out that's going to support this kind of same message. And so I'm excited, for good or bad. Nobody's perfect. There are flaws, absolutely, but I'm really excited about what I'm seeing in hip-hop music. I mean, what about yourself? How do you feel as an artist who's always been conscientious, who always try to push your brothers to do this sort of thing? How do you feel about what you're kind of seeing in the industry?
I'm happy about it. I'm relieved about it. I know a lot of my comrades that's been underground. We've been the underground artists. Conscious music has been underground while thug music has been commercialized. I'm happy that they're coming back to it. And it's like with anything. Once they get here, they need to put solid ground and stay here. It'd be like with the when you look at the Mountain Dew situation, people came in at the back end of it, but are they going to stay for the long haul? You was doing it because this is something that's what you do. So as long as they come back and continue that message and stay with it, and then I think it can elevate the so-called underground artists like myself, 360 Wise guy, and other guys that's been doing more technique, that just been doing this thing, can now get the light so they can see that this has been here. Now that it takes a commercialized artist like that to reach down and do some things like that to open the door and let them know that there's more than just one side of rap. Hip-hop is the most powerful music in the world because if we get together and unite, we can change things. And I think the system knows that. So I'm happy about it, that it can do it, that it can shine lights to it. And hopefully when people hear his song, they'll want to go check out other artists that's been doing it consistently so they can get the whole gamut of it. But for them to do it, great, because one thing about us, we all, like you say, got our different mindset, and he's an artist, so artists change different things. You know, Marvin Gaye was singing about love until the Vietnam War came about, you know, then he had What's Going On, so that kind of changed him, you know. So maybe this is his What's Going On moment. I had talked about this for years ago to say that if Jay-Z ever, with all the power he got, sat down and had a perspective like Marvin Gaye had in that song and wrote an album, his influence could change a lot of things. I think a lot of our big-time stars don't do that. So if Kanye going to do something like that, then he can take all his followers, which he got millions, and say, well, you know what, let me check out Mos Def. Let me check out his boy Common. Let me check out Vigilante. Let me check out 360 Wise Guy and other artists like this because I want to hear this. Because when we grew up, Boyce, you had Spice One, you had, NWA, but you also had Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, LL Cool J, Kid and Play. Now, I just named multiple different artists. But somehow, in the late 90s, it decided that we're going to do one thing, party, swag, and money. And that's what 90% of the rappers rap about. So what happened was that gangsters has always been there since Schoolie D out of Philadelphia was doing gangster rap, and Ice-T with Killers. But what happened, there's not a variety of artists. So what happens is one type of artist you see on the radio. So if we power up and make that radio get back to playing, make DJs get back to breaking artists, then we got a real revolution inside out.
Wow. Well, I'm definitely in agreement with you. I think it's I like what I'm seeing. I know not everybody's going to agree with me, and that's fine. I'm all for freedom of thought, but I think at the end of the day, we can't be nice when it comes to confronting the issues that oppress us. We can't wait for white people to give us the stamp of approval to fight for our liberation. We can't worry about whether or not people like us when we do what we got to do. Sometimes we have to be jerks about it, and I think that's exactly what I'm seeing here. People are starting to be aggressive about what others are trying to do to their children, and I think that's very important for us to do. Well, I have to run out of here myself, and I know you're busy as well, and so I want to say thank you very much, Vigilante. I really appreciate your time, brother.
No problem, brother.
And where can people find your music?
Oh, you can find my music at Vigilante. I am Vigilante.com. That's Vigilante, Vigilante.com. Or you can Google Vigilante. Or you also can check me out as the hip-hopologist on Reason for Rhymes. That's Reason with the number 4, rhymes.com.
All right, my brother. All right, well, it's wonderful talking to you. And for those who are listening, thank you for checking us out at GoBlackWorld.com. And until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.
Peace.